Welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, bub.
To found footage. We're dressed in our superhero costumes. I, of course, am Captain Amplitude. And,
Yeah, as I said, can't even say your shirt.
Captain Amplitude. And Matt is dressed as...
I'm just a super tight shirt guy.
The Express, we call him. Super Tight Express.
The Express. That's awesome. That's my name.
The
I'm like,
Express
what's your
is
power? Like, and I just like change the subject every time.
Yeah, it's really nice weather out, though, right? I mean, it's never been this nice.
We're not drinking booze on this one because it's found footage, so we're drinking Baja Blast.
Well, and also because we've had a lot of booze already today, and we want to have
we're pretty
somewhat of coherent podcast for you guys.
Yeah, we have no notes, so it's going to be pretty bad.
But we both did get to see a pretty fun movie, X-Men: Days of Future Past.
I enjoyed it.
The sequel to X-Men First Class, which is, as you know, is the reimagining of X-Men in the past. A young Charles Xavier, a young Magneto.
And they kind of had to reboot it because Ian McKellen ain't getting no younger, neither is Patrick Stewart, man. They're looking pretty old in this, which they're supposed... It's kind of good. They look like they're like 90 years old in this. Which is what they're supposed to be in a distant future to start off with.
They basically are about 90 years old, yeah.
Well, we can kind of expository a little bit. We won't try to get into too many spoilers. But, you know, it's basically the Days of Future Past is a past and a future X-Men team. And basically the future is a bleak future.
And so they're basically trying to stop this future from happening. Because it starts out with like, this post-apocalyptic thing. These machines called the Sentinels are killing everybody.
And they're super Sentinels. They're not like... If you read the old comic books and not the new stuff...
They're not just giant dumb robots
like,
that shoot lasers
Sentinels
at
are
you.
Fucked up.
They can like adapt to your powers. They can steal your powers.
They have that face thing that opens and then they shoot fire.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
They flame you.
I wouldn't want that to suck my dick. You know what I'm saying?
It's like just like oh no.
No.
I really like the job that he did with making them look even less human because you know the Sentinels are almost human like. You know, you're like, oh well, they almost are human like, so you almost have a feeling towards them, although you know they're robots. Whereas these things are just like they have arms and legs, but the face is just I don't know.
They're about to eat you.
Yeah, I don't.
Eat your
and then they open that thing up. It's like
Yeah, and so basically, when it starts out, the X-Men are in dire straits. They're the future X-Men, so they're not many of the people you recognize, but they're actually kind of cool powers and stuff. There's one called Blink who can create like portals that you can fly through different places.
I like Blink's character. They didn't explain too much of her. There's like she's there, and
if I could have any powers, that'd be a cool power. Like out of the portal. Future people.
You'd be like the guy before.
Yeah, exactly. Except you wouldn't need a gun. Just like pull it for you.
Hello.
This is a triumph, and then like boom, boom, boom. You know, but Bishop, who is a energy absorbing mutant, you can rechannel that energy, which he was doing into a
gun.
Yeah.
Into an awesome gun.
It's pretty cool.
Although the gun like killed people, some people, not other. Like some, it like beat some Sentinels, and the other Sentinels like they're like no.
There were a couple of plot holes, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, and then they had like some people that are actually people from the modern continuity, but they put into the future, like Colossus and Bobby Drake, who's Iceman,
and Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde as well. They changed their power setup a little bit. In this one, Kitty Power
to make it more convenient.
Kitty Pryde, which I don't know if they explain it as maybe a secondary mutation, but like her power basically is she can send someone's consciousness back in time a little bit. So at first she like is sending Bishop's consciousness back. So every time the Sentinels find them, she'll send Bishop's consciousness back. He'll warn everybody.
It's actually a really good system. Like their system between the three of them is like
it reminds me a lot of the Battlestar Galactica thing where they keep jumping every 33 minutes. Okay. It's basically like that, except that they're jumping after they almost get annihilated by Sentinels.
It's a great idea.
You know, back to the past and then getting out of there before they get there.
The three of them together are like perfect. So one can like put them in a portal and then, okay, now you're saying, oh, then the warning guy. They got the warning guy.
Oh yeah, Warpath. Who's Warpath?
Yeah. So Warpath warns them that these guys are coming. Then Bishop and her get to a safe place.
Which Warpath? That's really about what he does. I think.
I see something.
Yeah, he's like
I got nothing else.
Yeah, like he can fight. He's a really good fighter.
Protect me!
Yeah, but he's like, I have knives! And like,
let's just say he's no Apache chief, okay? Just leave it at that.
Racist thing, I get bigger! Like, okay, I say something, Uknuk Bagok, sheesh! How? Me's in a teepee. You're like, get bigger,
Why are you sounding like Jar Jar Binks? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so yeah, and there's, of course, Sir Patrick Stewart, Sir Ian McKellen, playing Professor X and Professor Charles Xavier.
Old-ass Professor X.
And old-ass Magneto, respectively.
He's looking super old.
And they are both super old. So, and they're also BFFs in real life.
They're great. If you've ever watched an interview with both,
Google those two names together, and you will find amazing things.
Like they're so fun. I want to be their best friends. I want to hang out with them.
I would
drink tea and just
Well, it's funny because like in Star Trek: The Next Generation, originally all the cast members not hated on him, but just ragged on him because he was so stodgy and British and so classically trained actor. Like, oh, you're not professional, all this stuff. And because of them, he's actually come out and said this in interviews. Because of them, he became such a more fun person because he was like, you know what? If you can't have fun in your job, why even here? You know. And another thing to look up. Anything Patrick Stewart has to say, you want to hear. So, but yeah. So they basically get the idea that because Wolverine's still around too, they get the idea that since Wolverine's lived for a very long time, that if they try hard enough, they can send him back to before the whole incident started.
And also, not just because he's lived for a long time, but because he has a healing factor that they're like, oh, if we send you back too far, your brain will just rip apart, basically.
Yeah, which is why they only send Bishop back a few hours or a few days.
Yeah, because they basically just kill him. You go insane and you die, basically. But since Wolverine has a healing power, he'll just heal and it'll be all right.
Yeah, because also they have to hold your consciousness back there until you change something.
Or until they get killed, or until they get murdered,
and so that's actually what hurts your brain. That's what I got from it anyway. But so they send Wolverine back. He's back in the X-Men First Class time, but 10 years later, which I thought was interesting. Mm-hmm. So all those guys are a little older.
Professor X shambles there
down
too.
And out, yeah.
They're having pretty bad time there too.
Beast is still a nerd. But
he also has Mr. Jennifer Lawrence.
He's got an Incredible Hulk thing where he turns blue sometimes. They don't get that much, but I think it has to do with Mystique's powers.
I thought they didn't do that in the old comic books.
No,
I thought they did do that.
Beast, he doesn't turn blue. He actually turned. The reason he turned blue is
because like a serum or something.
He basically gave himself a secondary mutation that turned him blue. And so
he's like,
it wasn't something he could
He was testing something, I believe. I think he was testing how to cure it, and he just.
No. He was trying to make himself he was trying to.
He's like, I like to be Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, but he was.
Baby, I hear the blues are calling, toss salad and scrambled eggs.
But yeah, so he's there's a lot of good guest appearances in here. Besides
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah. Speaking of which. We'll try not to spoil too much, but Kelsey Grammer. Just as a little.
If you're looking for Kelsey Grammer in this movie, you're an asshole.
Basically, anyone you saw in the old X movies, like the original X-Men trilogy, before X-Men,
they popped in for 1 second.
Yeah, they popped in for a few seconds, including Halle Berry, who
I think January Jones was in it for 1 second.
I didn't see her actually.
I think they were talking about when they were talking about the people that died. They showed
Oh, they might have. Yes,
I think
it's like, hi, I'm Emma Frost.
I'm the worst actress in the world.
This. Yeah, she's gotten a lot better on Mad Men, but she's still not good.
Still pretty made of wood.
But yeah, so basically they have to stop these events from unfolding that caused the Days of Future Past scenario. And so Wolverine,
darkest timeline, if you will.
So Wolverine is a back there. He's trying to fix things, but he's also popping in and out too because other things in the future that are happening.
It's back to being a swinger in the late 60s there.
Yeah, his big Wolverine dick swinging. And I want to hear some of your thoughts. Some of your thoughts? That's enough of the synopsis. You want to spoil it.
I loved the scene where Wolverine popped in back in the 70s there, 60s, 70s there. And the gangsters came in and they're like, we're going to take care of this. Like, no, you're not. I was like, yes! He's going to murder them all! I was like, oh, that's what
I thought it was funny that he forgotten that he had the bone claws. And so he's like, oh, yeah, I got those.
Well, yeah, those are still there. There was some weird continuity issues. That was my only real problem. I love the movie. I think the cinematography was good or great. I think that
I really love
the penultimate scene with Magneto where he does something really cool by lifting something really like that really large
you've seen
thing.
it in the trailer, but we won't say it. Right?
I won't go into it. But he lifts something really really big, and you're like, fuck, that was a cool thing to do. Like it was really cool looking, and it was a good idea. Like this is what a person with this power and this magnitude would do. Just like
pop like magnitude.
It's like you're stuck. Go pop like that.
Yeah. I think. Who's your favorite character? Because you know what mine was. Right?
Yeah, Iceman.
Bobby Drake. He's like, yeah, I got the beard now.
I got a beard. Well, the love of my life is Ellen Page. Even if she came out,
it's okay. You can turn it back.
Come
back to our side.
Still love you. And of course, I love Patrick Stewart. Like he's my guy. I love that guy. And Michael Fassbender. It's probably Michael Fassbender because he chews up scenery like it's his job. Oh, but I know who your favorite character is. He's actually the new guy,
the newest character who a lot of people were hating on. And I will say, his costume looked a little weird out of context.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He really only has one big scene in the movie, and it is amazing.
And in context, it was fantastic. Like, it was perfect.
The actor Evan Peters does a great job portraying this character. It's Quicksilver.
Yeah, if you don't know who Evan Peters is, he's in American Horror Story.
And other thing. And he's also in Emma. What's her name?
Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
He's inside of her.
Yeah, he's inside of her. Yeah. So he's a lucky guy already off the bat. But
it's like not Quicksilver in there. You know what I'm saying?
Slow Silver. He does an amazing
He's great.
job.
He was a lot of fun.
And I think
I can't wait to see him next movie.
The movie is almost worth it just watching him.
Yeah, there's a really fun scene where he uses his powers to full potential, and you're like, you just really met this guy. You don't really know what to think of him as a person watching, and even as a person in the movie, you don't know what to think of him. Then he does the scene, and you're like, yeah, that was pretty
and
badass.
it's funny because it's like it has like a comic relief effect to it, but it also has this like, I want to do that too.
And it's like, that was actually really smart, all the stuff he did to like get out of it. It's like, oh, okay, all right.
But then they kind of forget about him, but they kind of have to because he's so powerful in that scene. Like,
he's
he
uber
can do
powered.
anything. Yeah, like, he basically slows time to a stop.
He really could have done anything. I don't even think there's anything that could have hindered his power because he's so fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless there was like something that negated his power.
But the thing that they made cool with this character is that he didn't want to get in the fight. He just was there.
He's just a kid. Fun. He's like, I steal Twinkies. You know?
Like they basically got him into it because like, oh, it could be fun to break Magneto out. He's like, okay.
He's like, you can break in the Pentagon. He's like, yes, that sounds awesome. He's like, let me do that. This is like teenager basically.
Yeah, so it was cool and it was plausible, and I really enjoyed that scene.
Yeah, he was definitely a good character. I love Michael Fassbender. I think he chews up scenery, and he did again in this movie. He just was like. Whether you're on his side, whether you hate Magneto or whether you like Magneto, he was terrific for either one of them.
So whether you're a good person or a fucking psycho, like
psychopath,
I love Magneto.
By the end of the movie, like, I'm not giving too much away, but he got pretty horrible by the end of the movie. I was like, damn.
Which if you read the comic books, Magneto is normally a fucking douche.
He's not on anybody's side except for his own.
Bro. Yeah,
even like he's not even on his like people's side. He's like, this is for me, guys. I don't want anybody else. You can have mutants, it's fine. No humans, and if you're a mutant that fucks with me, also you're dead.
Yeah, basically. That's actually a very good layman's impression.
Yeah, he's like, you can be on my side, that's cool. But if not, you're dead. I'll just kill you.
I will just take these metal rods and put them through your body.
I'll just take all the metal out of your body and rip it right out or something, so that's cool.
Or take metal and put it in your body, in some cases.
That was a scene that gave me warmed me as a comic book fan.
There was a lot of awesome, not just nods, like Easter eggs, but like these little cinematic moments where it showed like a panel where it was directly ripped from a comic book, even if it was out of context in some it was still amazing that they did stuff like that.
Sure.
I thought it was great.
Sure. There's a lot of great little scenes like, hey, yeah. Or like, hey, I definitely saw it. And I had to keep looking over Jess and she didn't know, and I was like, but she really enjoyed the movie as a X-Men fan, but not as a huge X-Men fan like I am. She still really enjoyed the movie. Wolverine. Goddamn, Hugh Jackman is jacked.
He is jacked, man.
Holy crap.
Yeah!
Holy crap, man. Like, how do you even get those muscles? I'm like, yeah, my muscle doesn't go down.
He's the boy from Oz, okay?
God damn. He's got like muscles that should pop out of weird places on his arm. Like, how does your arm do that?
He's so veiny. That's
like,
actually what Jamie actually said. Like, he's so veiny.
Yes, like, he's gigantic, and
he looks like a big cock. Is what he looks like a big fucking cock.
A giant.
That's all he looks like
with hair, with Wolverine
bub, like smoked cigar smoking cock.
I think he did a really good job in his role, but you expect that. Just like you expect Michael Fassbender to be good. I think that's why Evan Peters was really a standout.
What did you think of Jennifer Lawrence? That's what
I like Jennifer Lawrence's. First, she's beautiful, obviously, but I loved her performance. I think she really has taken the Mystique character and made it her own.
Definitely.
Mystique is a tough character to play, I think, because she's changing into stuff all the time, different stuff, and so you're really acting like 7 different things, even if she's not technically that character at the time. It's just to pretend that she's something else for a good deal of the movie.
I like how they did Mystique in this movie because she's almost kind of one-dimensional. in the comics, she's very,
very
like,
one-dimensional.
I'm bad no matter what. And you're like, okay, you're bad and sassy, I get it. And like this one, she's very like she's torn, and you can tell that
they're trying to show that like she likes being mutant, but she doesn't want bad things to happen, and all she knows how to fix it is doing this the wrong way. You know, so you obviously Professor X, young Professor X, spends most of his time trying to convince her that hey, this is the bad way.
Yeah, which I almost forgot because it's been so long since I've seen first class. I forgot they set that up in the first one. I was like, wait, what? Oh yeah, because they grew up together. Yeah, okay, I get it. But yeah, I thought she. I mean, obviously she has
a lot of good ass kicking too in the movie.
Yeah, let her kick my ass.
And she has great scenes with Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy.
She does. I think in general she does a great job.
I've always thought Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress. I don't like a lot of people are like, well, you know, she's the it girl, so people don't like her. People said the same thing about a lot of great actresses that are still great, you know,
like January Jones, yeah,
like January Jones. They're like, wow, she is like a piece of wood.
I'm acting now. I'm really sad.
I'm very sad. Now I'm happy.
I'm so happy. I won the lottery.
But I'm glad to see her getting. I mean, obviously she's got more money than God, and she's one of those people too. It's really cool to see her off camera because she's one of the like a genuinely cool person, like nerdy, nice, you know, self-deprecating, which a lot of people
dating the wrong guy though. You know what I'm saying?
Dating that Warm Bodies kid / Beast.
/Beast. Hey, so I just have a question. Do I survive this? No. Great movie, great scene in the movie and the trailer. That's why I give that away.
And then, baby, I hear the blues are calling, so silent.
I think we should have had Niall should have played with Nightcrawler or something. That would have been cool.
Like he's just, I'm the Nightcrawler.
It's me, I'm the Nightcrawler.
I'm the Nightcrawler, and
hey,
where's Frasier?
That yours is a lot better impression than mine.
I know. It's okay.
But you know what? What's your rating? Let's hear your rating.
I'm going to give it a must-see. And I was going to go like low must-see or high must-see, but I was like, you know what? Low and high must-see are both must-sees. Must see this movie. It's a good movie to see a great movie to see in the theaters. I don't necessarily think it needed 3D.
Did you see it in 3D?
No, I didn't. I saw it in regular.
2D as well. Yeah.
Okay, I don't think it needed 3D. I think it might have been cool in 3D, but unfortunately usually I see it in 3D, so I can tell you if not. I personally think it was a great movie without 3D.
I think for the Magneto scene and maybe
the one
maybe the Quicksilver scene, that would have been the only ones you really needed that for. Personally. Yeah.
And you're like, what is he? Oh, that's what he's doing. He's so good. That guy is good, man. He's probably done that to a lot of people.
Must see. Both of us. We both think it's a must see. I thought that it was a great movie. I didn't think it was as good as Captain America. I'm just comparing movies I've seen this summer. But I thought it was definitely a great movie, a great popcorn summer movie. You know, it's one of those things where you kind of have to get past some of the little incontinuities about things where you're like, how the fuck did he think? Okay, who cares? You know, but it was
we didn't. You know what we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about Little Boulevard Trask.
Oh, Peter
so
Dinklage. See, honestly, Peter Dinklage, like I thought he did a good job for what he was given, but he wasn't given.
This was the worst use of Peter Dinklage I think they could have done. That's one of my other complaints.
I agree.
Movie. Because he wasn't written well. Chews the fuck out of scenery in Game of Thrones, and like, yeah, he just
especially the last episode that we're not going to give away.
Dude.
We're going to talk about off camera.
I told you about that, dude. I told you. I was like, yes! At the end, I was like, yes! And just like Aiden sleeping, no!
So don't go to see Peter Dinklage, but see everything else, especially Evan Peters, especially Michael Fassbender, especially Jennifer Lawrence,
James McAvoy, even the
Hugh Jackman,
the little scene, Hugh Jackman, but even the little scenes with
I loved the Future People too.
Stewart.
I thought the Future People were great.
Ian McKellen didn't really have much to say. He was just there, but he still had a cool scene at the end, like that cool scene where he, but.
Where everyone dies. No, I'm just kidding.
Or everyone gets a race if they win, you know, because that whole timeline is...
That's actually the best outcome of the movie.
It's like, we'll never cease to be at this point.
But they'll just be happier. They'll be happy versions of themselves.
Or not.
Make it so, number one.
Oh, one more thing. Ending. The scene at the end. Setting up the next movie. How'd you like it?
I knew exactly what
was going on. By the way, go
on.
see it. I knew exactly what was going on, too, so I was pretty happy about it. And, you know, as a fanboy of... He's one of my favorite villains.
He is. I remember you used to have his action figure.
And so seeing that thing, I was like, yes, all right, let's do this. I was like, let's go. Next movie. We've already got like 3 years.
By the way, it's not really a spoiler. They've already announced what the name of the next movie is. If you look up the name in that name, then you'll know what we're talking about.
It's got blue lips.
Fin Fang Fum. Must see this movie.
Must see.
Have a good night, bye. That didn't work.
Take two.